Namaste. I hope you all are keeping well, healthy, happy. And I wish you all a very, very happy New Year. May the new year bring all kind of best things to your life. And let us begin with a prayer. Today's discussion, let us begin with a prayer. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunattu, sahaviryam karavavahe, tejasvinavadhitamastu, ma vidyushavahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May the Lord nourish us. May we study together and strive together. May we work in an atmosphere of mutual love and understanding. Peace be, peace be, peace be. Peace inside, peace outside, and peace everywhere. Hari Om. So, we human beings are value-seeking animals. We share a lot of features with other animals. Eating, sleeping, mating, reproducing, fighting. In all these aspects, we are like animals. What distinguishes us from animals is the ability for moral imagination. To understand and distinguish between what is right and wrong. That is the only thing which distinguishes us from other animals. Otherwise, we share the same features. So we have the ability to imagine, what I would call moral imagination. And the ability to understand what is right and wrong. And we also are self-conscious beings, rational, self-conscious, thinking animals. So, what are we seeking in life? It seems that we are seeking all the time, moving from place to place. Changing relationships, changing our ideas. We are seeking something. So we have analyzed it. In the earlier lectures, we have analyzed what are we seeking. So we are seeking certain end values. And we are following certain instrumental values. So values can be divided into end values and instrumental values. Instrumental values are those what we do to get what we want. So what do we want in life? Getting which we feel, aha, I have arrived. I am at home. I am okay. That feeling must come. Now I can rest. So what is that? What we are seeking? We already analyzed it. What we seek is fundamentally health and happiness and love. That's what we are seeking. You can say goodness, duty. You can add a few more end values. And in the Vedantic literature, in the Indian philosophy, all these values put together are put together into one word. And the word is Brahman. Brahman includes all these values. So let us catch hold of those words. Thinking is not possible without words and ideas. So the Upanishad, which we are going to study, use this word again and again, Brahman, which means the big, the all-inclusive. That's the meaning of the word Brahman. So let us say we all are seeking Brahman, one word. The word alone is not enough. We have to know the meaning of that word. So that is the meta value that we are seeking, an end value, gaining which or knowing which or realizing which or what. We feel comforted, we feel fulfilled. So let me call it the meta end value that we are seeking. Love is a value that we are seeking. Love is an end by itself. Health is an end by itself. Happiness is an end by itself. So we all are seeking Brahman. Let us have an understanding of that. We all agree on that. We all are seeking Brahman, and Brahman is a very complex value. It's not a simple value. It's a very complex value. As I said, it involves happiness, it involves love, it involves health, it involves goodness. So in seeking this meta value, we also have to put some effort. Some disciplines are necessary. So we have seen in the Bhagavad Gita, we call it Brahma Vidya. Knowledge of Brahman, realization of Brahman, Brahma Vidya. Vidya means a knowledge. So put that in your mind, in your mental understanding. Put that value. Brahman is what we are seeking. And then we are ready to pay some price for that. Because nothing can be gained without any price. You have to, some pain is necessary. Some pain, no gain without pain. So we are ready to follow certain discipline, give up certain comforts. For example, now you are sitting there, instead of watching the TV or munching something, you are sitting there. This is the value that you are giving. We are ready to pay some price, which called the ability to foresee the future and forgo some of the immediate comforts, so that you gain what you fundamentally seek. So Brahman, that word should be there in your brain. Then alone you will be motivated to study the Upanishad or whatever. So this is the end value we are seeking, Brahma Vidya. And what is the instrumental value? What is the discipline necessary for gaining this knowledge, this understanding, this transforming, self-transforming understanding? What is the discipline? The discipline is called Yoga Shastra. Shastra means a discipline. The discipline of yoga. Yoga means connecting things. Body, mind, ego, the world. We must be able to connect all these together. Certain discipline, yoga discipline, we all know that. The ability to meditate, do pranayama, integrate your life. So there are, the instrumental value is called yoga shastra, shasana shastram. Then the value is Brahma Vidya. Let these words be very clear to you. Then alone thinking is possible. Otherwise, it is a wishy-washy thinking. So Brahma Vidya, Yoga Shastra, and one more instrumental value is Samvada, association and discussion with enlightened people, gurus. Of course, gurus are almost extinct variety in this world today. Nobody has the moral stature and the experience. Very few can find foreign few here and there. But association and discussion, which is called samvadam. For any discipline you need that. A coach or a guide, a psychologist, a lawyer, an investment consultant, you need. Lead life intelligently, you need some consultant. To the guru. So association and discussion with the guru. Learning from him. So these are the three things. We have to keep it in mind. One is Brahma Vidya. The other is Yoga Shastra. The third is association with enlightened people. Who is an enlightened person? An enlightened person is one who feels contented, happy by himself or herself. He is an enlightened person. Who thinks of your well-being? He is already arrived. So association with such people who does not have any motive, called Brahmanishtam, Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtam, Ahedugadaya Sindhu. Enlightened person is one who is established in herself or himself, and Shrotriyam, well versed in the scriptures. He has got ability to communicate, and also Ahedugadaya Sindhu, who is compassionate without any motive, motiveless compassion. Other compassion is always with a motive. What do I get? Here there is no motive, because it's like an ocean, it can keep on giving. So these are the three things. Clarity about the end goal, clarity about the means, how do I reach there, clarity about your source of knowledge, understanding. Where do you get this understanding? So these are the things should be very clear when we get into the Upanishadic study. So we are going to study the Upanishad. I don't know how many of you have heard about the word Upanishad. Maybe some of you are hearing it for the first time. Some of you must have heard about it. But we are going to embark upon the study of the Upanishads. Like we studied Bhagavad Gita, now we are going to study the Upanishads. So our search for these meta values bring us to the Upanishad or to the self. We are no more seeking it outside. So we have been seeking it outside. We want others to love us. We want others to make us happy. We are waiting for the vaccine now. Isn't it? We are waiting for the vaccine. Vaccine may come, but the viruses are much more intelligent than us. You may take a shot now, then they again incarnate. They incarnate in new ways. Mutations and all that. So Health we have to build from within. The source of health is within. Source of happiness is within. We have seen that. Source of love is within. Unless you give love, you don't get love. You don't get love without giving it. So we have to discover it within ourselves. And there is a vast dimension within us. We talk about the external space, but we don't know about the inner space. That is vaster and deeper and more profound than the outer space. So in search of these meta values, we no more wander in the world outside. We become more reflective. We have seen that in the Gita lectures. We become more reflective. So this is a reflective, contemplative enterprise that we are engaged in now. A reflective, contemplative enterprise. We are not blaming anybody for our own misfortune. Usually we blame others. Now we no more do that. The blame game, victimhood is over. We are going to take charge of our life in search of our own immortality, our own strength. So we no more blame anybody. We no more feel a victim of the past or the world around. We are going to be the masters of our life now. So therefore, instead of searching outside, we are trying to search inside. We are moving inward through contemplative enterprise. This should be very, very clear to us. So this is a self-enquiry. And the self is indicated by the word. We have seen that. Indicated by the experience of I am. That's a very intimate and abiding experience for you. I am. Then here is the world. The self is indicated by the experience of I am. I. Of course, you attribute different meanings to that experience. I am the body. I am miserable. I am the father. I am the son. I am uncle. I am husband. I am wife. I am CEO of a big company. All these. You attribute all this meaning to the experience of I. But that is something very abiding in you. The rest are all coming and going. So our inquiry, the needle of our inquiry turned toward the I experience. And that I is not an isolated I, please. I is living in this body. This body is very important. You just cannot ignore your body. Isn't it? If you have a toothache, your whole attention is on the toothache. You forget the truth. So I don't want you to ignore the body, because the I is living in this body and this body is living in this world. This huge, vast universe. So we have already defined the I. The I is embodied I. I is in the body. And the body is enfolded body. The body is in the world. But if you really inquire it, you understand the body and the world is in the I, in consciousness. For that you have to shift your attention. Apparently it seems I am in the body and the body in the world. But the truth is that the world is associated with your body and the body is in your consciousness. On inquiry, we will discover that. It is something like the relationship between the space in the pot and the pot in the space. Space in the pot, pot in the space. So you say there is pot space, there is space in the pot. But if you really analyze, you understand the pot is in the space. Similarly, we slowly realize, though we feel we are in the body and the body in the world, we discover the world is part of the body and the body is in you, the consciousness. That is a great revolutionary shift in understanding. That makes you bold and fearless and immortal. So we are in that journey. So this is a self-inquiry, and this self is a very complex, related to the body and the world. So the whole thing is one ensemble. World, body and the self is one ensemble. One music, let us say. So that's how you understand the self. So when I say self, please don't think the self is far away from the body and the body is far away from the world and the world and is your enemy and all that. These are all related entities. So when I experience myself, I have to experience me including the body and the world. But the world and the body constantly changes. But I never change. So that relationship is very important. I'll be analyzing that relationship during the course of the discussion on the Upanishads. So let us understand that the world is part of the body. Body is in the I or I consciousness. So that's a shift. There's a shift in our understanding of things. So this is how we begin. This is how we launch ourselves into this inquiry. Understanding ourselves as a very complex entity, our I. It's not a simple, isolated, detached entity. Of course, there is a detachment, but there is an engaged. So detached and engaged understanding is necessary. So this is how we begin our study of the Upanishad. So when you think of yourself, you don't think of yourself isolated. You think of yourself the body and the world around you. But the body and the world is constantly changing like waves in the ocean. That's a relationship. Waves in the ocean. The waves are not separate from the ocean or the water. The pot space is not separate from the total space. So this overall understanding is very important. Otherwise, the Upanishads will not be easy for us to appreciate. It's overall understanding the Upanishad. Okay, so where do you find this? Why Upanishad? Why not Bible, Quran, or some other text? Why do you study Upanishad? Because you got an opportunity to study Upanishad, that's it. Unfortunately, you are associated with me and I am teaching the Upanishad. That is one reason. That's one reason. Why are you studying Upanishad? Because your friend is interested in the Upanishad. And here is an opportunity for you to Upanishad. And another thing, Upanishad has been surviving all this while. While all other texts have come and gone, the Upanishad somehow or other is surviving. It is our heritage, it's our common heritage. Like Quran or Bible is our common heritage, Upanishad also is a common heritage. So we are studying the Upanishad. Where do you find this text? This is the purpose of literature. Upanishad is a scripture. A scripture means which talks about fundamental entities. That's the meaning of scripture. Which is not available for simple reasoning and experimentation. There are certain truths which are beyond your objective experiments or reason. There are certain truths. Fundamental truths are like that. As we have seen, the string of thought doesn't reach there. But still it is there. That is the foundation of everything. That's why we are coming to the study of Upanishad. So where do you find this literature? Upanishad is part of the Vedas. Vedas, for Vedas and all that, we know that. If you don't know, you should know that there are 4 Vedas. At the end of each Veda, there are these Upanishads. So Vedas talk about rituals, mantras, rituals. How to control the world by performing rituals. That is the theme of the Vedas. You find the world, how to control the world. Control gods to serve your purposes. It's like modern science and technology. Modern science and technology is trying to control the world to serve our human purposes. Similarly, the Vedic masters, they devised mantras like modern scientific laws, mantras and rituals to control the world. They thought the world is controlled by gods. Gods are controlled by mantras. If you can chant a mantra and perform the ritual and propitiate gods, you will be able to control the world. You can get cows and good rain and then prosperity, wealth and power and all that. That was the theme of the Vedas. And we are still continuing that. We are trying to find out what works in nature, what are the laws that operates in nature, try to find it out and apply that and create technology and control the world. Now we are controlling the world to a certain extent, but the world is much more intelligent than us. New viruses are coming. New problems. So that pursuit of rituals and magic and controlling the world and all that came to a dead end. That is when we turned inward. Instead of controlling nature, let us try to understand and discipline ourselves, our body, our mind, our emotions, our passions. So we start looking inward. Along with the looking outward, we started looking inward. So Upanishads talk about meditations. Vedas talk about rituals. Upanishads is more interested in meditation. Meditation means how to sit and how to look at ourselves, what is going on inside the mind, the theater of the mind. So one is meditative, contemplative, the other is active in the world outside. And Upanishads also says both are important. It is not isolated meditation because you are related with the world physically, emotionally, intellectually. So Upanishad is trying to bring both these activities, meditation, contemplation, and activity in the world. And we will be seeing that, how they are doing it. Upanishad is not discarding the world. Upanishad is not discarding the body. Upanishad is not discarding the mind. Upanishad integrate all this. So let us say Upanishad is inclusive contemplation, what I call detached engagement. Which is it's a difficult concept, but we'll see how it works. Detached engagement or inclusive contemplation. So let us say it's a contemplative science, but the contemplation includes. It is not an excluded contemplation. How do we do that? We'll be seeing that as we study the Upanishad. So the Vedas, more interested in rituals, controlling the world. Upanishads, controlling the mind, the thoughts, discovery of the self, a self which includes everything. An inclusive transcendence, that's the word. We have seen that. An inclusive transcendence. It's not a transcend which excludes things. So, that's the Upanishads. What does Upanishad mean? What is the word Upanishad? What's the meaning of that? I hope you remember this word, Upanishad. Upanishad. What does it mean? Upa means near. Upa means near. The Sanskrit word Upa means near. Ni means down. Down. Shat means to sit. Sit, down, near. That's the word meaning of Upanishad. Sit, down, near. Don't run around. Sit down. Take a break before you break down, as they say. Don't run around. It is time. You have been running around all this while. Nothing has happened. You are still, you are in the rat race. You are still continue to be a rat. You are not become a cat. So for some time, take a break. Sit down. Let us look into each other's eyes and see where are we headed. So sit down near. So that near has many meanings. It can be comfortable with yourself. Don't fight with yourself. We are doing that all the time. Early in the morning, when we look into the mirror, we are not happy with ourselves. We are not happy with the gray hair or the wrinkles on the face or the missing tooth. Isn't it? We are always unhappy with something or other when we look into. So we are not comfortable with ourselves and we are thinking about all the bad things we have done or bad things being done to us. Wallowing in our own memories, in the cesspool of our memories. That's what we are doing. We are not comfortable with ourselves. Upanishad says, be comfortable with what you are. There's nothing wrong with you. If you don't love yourself, appreciate yourself, who will love you? Who will appreciate you? Love begins from home. So be comfortable with yourself, with your body, with your memories, with your history of who you are. Be comfortable. Don't fight with yourself. Fight against yourself. Be comfortable. With comfort, your age, your features. Because you are a unique entity in this world. Without you, the world is not complete. If the world is a fabric and you are one thread in that fabric, remove that thread, the whole fabric will collapse. So you have a unique function in this world, unique place in this world. Nobody can replace you. So Upanishad means be comfortable with who you are, what you are. Don't fight with yourself. Love yourself. That is the first meaning of Upanishad. Sit down near. Another meaning of sit down near means sit down near your good friend or guru. Spend some time with these enlightened people. Spend some time. Spend some time or listen to the inner whispering. There is something very deep down in you which whispers. Are you able to listen to that whispering? Listen to your inner voice, your inner conscience. Of course, your conscience can sometimes misguide you. So therefore, that conscience is to be developed properly. That's why association with the guru is very, very important. So spend some time with your guru, or with the nature, or with the sky. The gurus are not available. Go into the nature, forest, woods, oceans, night sky. Or go for a run. Because when you run, there are not many thoughts, isn't it? Then you are with yourself. So spend some time with the scriptures, with the masters, with the gurus, with the good people, with the children. I find children are very good people. Innocent, laughing, smiling and playing. Spend some time with your grandkids. before they become teenagers. The moment they become teenagers, they become terrible. So, grandkids. So spend some time. So Upanishad. Upanishad also can mean, as I told you, take a break. Sit down and take a break. Don't rush. Where are you rushing? What have you gained? Upanishad also means study on these books. These books also are called Upanishads. These books. What are the books we will be seeing later? This book also is called Upanishad. So sit down near. That's a little meaning. Now the masters, Shankaracharya and those great masters, those say Upanishad means that which takes you near the truth. Shat means to go, gedi. It will take you near the truth. It will rewire your brain. Give you new vocabulary to think. New ideas. It's a rewiring project. Upanishad. It takes you towards the truth. The whole truth, not the partial truth. Upanishad also means which destroys your ignorance. Your ignorance. We are ignorant about many things, but we are ignorant about the very fundamental things. So our limited worldview, let us say. Upanishad removes your limited, pigeonholed worldview and gives you an inclusive worldview. That's the meaning of Upanishad. Removes avidya and takes you to the truth and resets your mind, reforms your thinking. So that's another meaning of Upanishad. So please understand these three words: Upanishad. And we find these Upanishads at the end of the Vedas. Because they are at the end of the Vedas, they are called Vedanta. Vedanta. End of the Veda. So what do you mean by the end of the Veda? End of the Veda can mean many things. It is the final fruit of the Veda. The final fruit. Veda gives you many types of knowledge. But this is the final knowledge, gaining which no other knowledge is necessary, he says. It's such a knowledge it gives you about the truth. That's why it's called Vedanta. Upanishad and Vedanta. The two words are used. It's also called Advaita Vedanta. Advaita. Advaita means there is no two, there is only one. Our thinking is always binary thinking, isn't it? If there is a proposition, there will be an opposition. Everything there will be a proposition and an opposition. It goes dialectically like that. But here the Upanishad says, there is only one. There is no two. There is no other. It gives you that kind of a wisdom, the Upanishad. So please, Upanishad. Three words are there. The main word is Shat. Upani are propositions added to the Shat. Shat can mean to sit down. Shat can mean to destroy. Shat can mean to reach. Many meanings are there. Shat. Gedi. Visharana. Artham. Gedi means to go. Visharana means to destroy. Avasadhanam means to pulverize. Various root meanings are there. So Upanishad removes your self-ignorance. It gives you self-knowledge. Okay, so what is the main theme of the Upanishad? Because what's the theme? What does the Upanishad talk about? The main theme of the Upanishad, to put it very simply, that we all are seeking happiness. That itself is a big discovery. We think we are seeking money, power, pleasures, name, fame, etc. Upanishad says, no way. What you fundamentally seek is happiness. Okay, that we, with much difficulty, we understood. Yes, I am seeking happiness. Happiness is a very loaded word. It is not simple pleasures, eating laddu, jalebi or ice cream and all that. It is a very, very profound word, happiness. I think happiness and health are similar words, similar meaning. They're synonymous words. Happiness and health. A healthy person is happy, happy person is healthy. And happiness, health and God. I included God also. Or Brahman. When you say God, what you mean is happiness, health, love, light, prana. Some people say it is prana. Various words are used. Prana, light. So, Upanishad says this has to go into your thinking. Wow, because most of us are clueless about our end goals in life. We are clueless because the advertisement and propaganda and the entire machinery of the state and other organizations are trying to depress you and manipulate you and sell their products to you. That's what is happening. The whole world is like that, conspiring. The whole civilization culture. It takes you away from your roots and make you like a dry leaf fluttering in the stove. So the Upanishad says, unless you are clear about your goals in life, you are victim, you are meat for other people. You become a victim because you are not clear. So it should be very clear to us that our end goal is happiness, health, love. And Upanishad put the word Sukham. That's what we are seeking. Sukham. Sukha means a kind of spaciousness. Sukha means a spaciousness. Sukha means plenty of space. Isn't it? You need plenty of space to dance and run around. At this point, we feel we are hemmed in. There is no space. I feel I'm in a very congested, claustrophobic, I feel. But if there is space, you can dance and jump and do whatever you want. You can stretch yourself. So the literal meaning of Sukha is space, plenty of space. Dukkha means very limited space. So if this goal is clear to you, the Upanishads say the goal is clear. Now the question is, where is it? The Upanishad says it is within you. Not even within you, you are that. The happiness that you seek, you are that. This is a very revolutionary statement. It's a very revolutionary statement. You are that. And once you discover that, a huge burden is taking off your head, off your shoulder. You feel totally relaxed. My God, I have been running around all this while, chasing something. As I chase it, it recedes from me, like the horizon. Like that musk deer. The musk deer gets the smell of the musk and runs and runs and runs, seeking the source of the musk. And finally, it collapses. Then it discovers it is from me. By the time it is dead. And somebody else take the musk. So this understanding, I have been repeating it again and again, but it has to go into our system. Then alone we will become truly contemplative. To become really contemplative, this understanding should go deep into your system. Otherwise, you cannot be contemplative. You will be waiting for me to end the discourse and go somewhere else. Isn't it? Then you saw me going to end the discourse of that I have to watch the TV and I have to do this, I have to do that. So this has to go very deeply into the system. That what I am seeking is this, and this is within me, not even within me, I am that Tattvamasi. That is the main theme of the Upanishad. You are that. Meaning, whatever you seek, you already are. That knowledge has to go deep into the system. Especially in this, these days we are sitting at home and, feeling restless. Some people say the whole year is wasted. There is this 2020 is non-existent because we did nothing. We didn't go anywhere. Isn't it? Therefore it's a wasted. It is erased from my memory. There is nothing we did, nothing we accumulated. It is very difficult to sit, in a corner, in a room, in a silo. But with this understanding, you feel enriched. You will be able to cope with your aloneness without feeling lonely. So this is what I am seeking within myself. And once you discover that, something very deep opens in you. You feel an inner space opening up. So what is the theme of the Upanishad? The theme of the Upanishad is, you are seeking happiness, it is your nature. You are seeking light, it is your nature. So then your whole life changes. Instead of seeking happiness, we have already discussed that, we start sharing happiness. You are no more seeking it. You are no more a seeker. You are sharing it. You are giving it. The more you give, the more you have it. So that is the theme of the Upanishad, which is captured in the phrase, in the equation, Tad Tum Asi. You are that. At this point, that is a distant goal for you. But when you become an Upanishad student, that is not a distant goal. It is something deeply embedded in you. It's your innate nature. Okay, so that's the theme of the Upanishad. Now, what is the method that Upanishad adopts? What are the methods? How do you go about it? How do you go about going deep within yourself? What is the method? There are 4 or 5 methods that the Upanishad adopts. One method is called, because it's called categorical thinking. Categorical, you should need some categories, certain ideas to think. One category is fundamental category. We have many categories: good, bad, beautiful, ugly, cause, effect, substratum, substrated, part, whole. This is how we think. This is the structure of the mind by which you think and understand things, process experiences. Isn't it? Cause, effect, mainly cause and effect. Then substratum, substrated, part, whole, time, space. These are called the mental categories, structures of the mind by which you process information. So similarly, Vedanta also uses certain categories. What are the fundamental category? The fundamental category is called Drigdrishya Viveka. Seer and scenery. You are the seer, the rest is scenery. Drigdrishya Viveka. So whenever you have an experience, analyze in terms of this. Who is the experiencer? And the rest is experienced. Like even sit in a theater. You see the movie on the screen, you are sitting in a box and enjoying it. So similarly, all your experiences are played on the screen of the mind, which is projected outside. So, drik, drishya, viveka. Seer, scenery, distinction. Every experience. For example, somebody calls you are stupid. You're stupid. So immediately we think, yes, he's right. Isn't it? And then you accept his description of you and then you start behaving like that. 2-3 people calling you are stupid, then you become stupid. 2-3 people calling you are idiot, you become an idiot. But immediately you should think, okay, stupid, he used the word. That word is a disturbance in the brain. And I am attributing dictionary meaning to that. These are all happening in the mind. And I am the one which watches all this. So then who is stupid? The one who called you, he is the stupid. He is projecting that idea on you. And you are taking it upon yourself. Don't do that. The word is only a disturbance in the mind. It has nothing to do with you. You are the one who observes it. Like a movie on the theater. This is called drik, drishya, viveka. And you can bring this viveka very deeply. Even a headache. Don't identify with it immediately. Okay, headache. Who is experiencing that? A headache, a drishyam or a drik? Analyze. When you analyze it, there's a sense of freedom, liberation, sense of immortality, fearlessness. Just that thought. A headache or a toothache. Or even hunger, thirst, or a thought. So drik, drishya, viveka, which is very, very important. Very, very important. It's a very fundamental category we have to bring into our reflection and understanding. Drik, drishya, viveka. What is drik and what is drishya? So Vedanta, that's one of the methodology. It's a lifelong pursuit. It's a lifelong pursuit. Because it has to go into your system, become a part of your nature, so that nothing can disturb it. Otherwise, everything will keep disturbing you. Lose your foundation and of your rootedness. Other method of the Upanishad uses it, we will be seeing all this in detail. Other method the Upanishad uses it, Panchakosha Viveka. Panchakosha Viveka. What are the Panchakoshas? Your physical body, your physiological body, your emotional body, your intellectual body, and your ego body. These are the bodies you have. These are the vestures you wear. These are your clothing. The physical body is a cloth, it's a dress that you wear, it's a makeup. Physical body. Then there is physiology. And some of us are so much steeped in the physical body. And the body changes, you feel upset. You know, when you are a youth, at the age of 21 or 18, you are so handsome, beautiful and all that. Then as you start aging, you feel very bad. And by 80, 85, you are finished, isn't it? So here we understand it is only a cloth. It's a physical body. Physiological body, you hunger and thirst and so on and so forth. Then your emotional body, your likes, dislikes, all kind of emotions. Fear, anxiety, tension. Your intellectual, your concepts, your ideas. And your own identity, that I am, which is a product of your memory. Memory loss, your identity is gone, isn't it? President Reagan, he was the president of the most powerful nation in the world, and when he retired, and before retirement itself started his dementia. And one day, his wife brought him a cup of tea. And she has been with him for the last 50 years. She brought him a cup of tea and he looked at her, stared at her and asked, "Who are you?" Who are you? Because he forgot it. So at this point, our identity is nothing but a memory. Memory gone, you are gone. But there is an identity beyond that. And once you know that identity beyond your memory, then you will be able to recreate your cells, brain cells. Because all these cells are products of the consciousness, which is beyond the memory. So the Panchakosha Viveka, that your physical, physiological, emotional, intellectual, and ego, these are all something which you observe, and you are beyond all this. Panchakosha. One of the Upanishads talks about this. And requires a deep meditation to understand all this. The way will be coming. When I discuss that Upanishad, we will be discussing that. Panchakosha Viveka. And then there is Avastatraya Vivekam. Another Upanishad takes up. Your life is analyzed in terms of avastas, states of consciousness, waking, dream, sleep, all that, states of consciousness. And then in between states also. For example, unconscious states, in coma, various states. And underlying all these states of consciousness, there is something deeper in you. So one Upanishad talks about that. We'll be coming to that. Then, a very deep philosophical concept, Satya Mithya Viveka. Satya Mithya Viveka. Satya means truth, Mithya means partial truth, let us say, not that truth. Mithya means changing, Satya means the changeless. What is changing and what is changeless? Satya, Mithya. We'll be discussing on this. Satya and Mithya Viveka. So these are the fundamental categories of thinking which Vedanta introduces. What is Satya, what is Mithya? Mithya means changing, Satya means what is changing. So what is changeless, what is changing? Then you take your microscope, stethoscope, periscope and trying to look at the changeless out there. Vedanta says, "Oh fool, you are the changeless. The rest are all changing." My God, I never knew this. I am the changeless. I was looking for the changeless under the sea, in the sun, the moon, on top of the Everest, and in your genome structure, your atoms and all that. This is where we are seeking. So the Satya and Mithya, which is a very fundamental category, we have to understand what is that. So this is a methodology of the Upanishadic pursuit. Then how many Upanishads are there? How many books are there? Traditionally, we say there are 10 books. Then a few more is added by other people, so 14 books. But I will be discussing 11 books, 11 main books. 11 main texts. That's why each talk will be dedicated to each text. Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, Aitareya, Taittiriya, Pragarnila, Chandogya, and Shivedashadara. 11 Upanishads we will be discussing. One talk on one Upanishad. So I repeat, those who want to write down, Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Mundaga, Mandukya, Aitareya, Taittareya, Chandogya, Brahadaranyaga, and Shivadashwadara. These are the 11 Upanishads we'll be discussing. And there are a few more Upanishads like Kaushiki Upanishad, Maitrayani Upanishad, Jabala Upanishad. But these 11 will give you understanding, enough idea about what the Upanishad is saying. And the Upanishadic wisdom is the foundation of all other literature in India. Whether it is Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, or the other Shastras, Mahabharata, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, every text in India, every literature is based upon the Upanishadic vision. So with the Upanishadic understanding, you will be able to understand all other texts, all other literature, all other philosophy, and not only that, you will understand what the meaning of life is. The Upanishad talks about life and how to live life fully, happily. That is the theme of the Upanishad. So thank you very much listening to me patiently. And next lecture will be on the first Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, which Mahatma Gandhi said, if you can preserve one mantra from the Ishavasya Upanishad, you would have preserved the entire wisdom tradition of India. For that matter, the whole world, he says. That is the importance of that Upanishad. So we'll be seeing the Ishavasya Upanishad next time, next Saturday, 8 to 9 o'clock Indian time. And till such time, best wishes once again. A very, very happy New Year to all of you. Hari Om.